Hello and welcome back to the another episode of Daily Quiz for IAS Prelims 2025. It is 16th October today, and in this video we are going to derive the important prelims based questions from these important articles which are mentioned on this slide. Before we will start our discussion, I would like to give the brief introduction of this initiative so that you will get more connected with the video. Every day in this video we discuss three types of questions. The first set of questions which we discuss here are taken from the news articles. We take up the most important articles from the newspapers, we break them down into the simplest language possible and derive the prelims based questions from those articles so that it will give the idea how the UPSC faculty can ask a question from these news articles. And the another set of questions which we discuss here are from the static portion, and right now we are discussing the Indian polity, and in it we are discussing the fundamental rights currently. And in fundamental rights today we are going to derive a prelims based question on article 21. After that, after we will finish the discussion with respect to the static portion and the current affairs, we will take up the last portion of our discussion, which would be discussing the previous year questions. In it, we will discuss few previous year questions, get the idea how the UPSC asks the questions, what is the trend of the UPSC while asking those questions, what can be the ways and methods by which we can solve these questions. So this is in nutshell about this video, what we do in here. Now, before we will start, I would like to request you to follow few things. First of all, please do watch the full video. This is going to be very much interesting and important for you. As I already told you, what are the sources of my questions which I discuss here. And the good thing about this is it is the same source which is used by the UPSC faculties while framing your question paper. So there are chances that many questions can coincide, or at least many statements can coincide, or at least it will help you improve your knowledge with respect to your prelims preparation. So it is a win-win situation for you to watch the video. Please do watch it till the end. It is going to be very much beneficial for you. And another thing which we discuss, which I want to discuss with you, is please do note down these questions somewhere with you, or at least take the screenshot of these questions. These questions are going to be very much helpful for you, trust me on that. Suppose when the exams would be near and you would want to revise the current affairs, at that time it gets very much hectic and difficult to revise the current affairs because the time is very much limited. So if you have these questions with you at that time, you would just revise the questions. These questions will definitely connect you with the current affairs, and also it will boost your confidence before entering the exam hall. So it is going to be very much important for you. And another thing which I want to request you guys, please do subscribe the channel and share it with your friends so that they may also get benefited from the initiative. And also please do write in the comments about what do you feel about the video. Do tell us in the comments, do criticize us, but be respectful in that, and do suggest us new things which we should bring for you. This initiative is for you, to help you and also to improve ourselves. So do write in the comments where do we need to improve. With this, let us have a good look at the context of the questions which we are going to solve from the next slide. Let's get the gist what is in the news today, and after that we will start solving the questions. It won't take us more than 3 to 4 minutes to understand what is in the news. The first article which was in news is about a food sufficient India needs to be hunger free too. If we look at our history, first of all, today is 16th October and it is the World Food Day, and so these articles were in the news about this 16th October as being the World Food Day. The theme of this year's is right to food for a better life and a better future. So you need to know that. Maybe they can ask you in UPSC exam, or even if you are studying for the state civil services or other exams, such questions may be asked. What was the theme of this year's World Food Day? So you should know that. With respect to this, if we look at the food sufficiency of India, if we will go back to 1960s when we had very less food available to us, we were very much food dependent, At that time, the revolutions came, green revolution, the rainbow revolutions came, and by the help of those revolutions and what India has achieved through various food security acts, we right now our situation is that we are food sufficient, and we are at a stage where we distribute our food to other countries too. But this does not mean that our country is hunger free. The definition of hunger is very much different here. It does not mean that a person is not able to eat anything. People are able to eat, but the nutritional values what they should have eaten is not available to them. So here the core concept of this article is that while being the food sufficient, we need to end this hunger free too. We need to end the hunger of our country too. If we will look at the SDG goals, in here we have SDG goal 2, which believes in zero hunger, and we have to achieve it by 2030. So right now there are various conditions related to the hunger free, world hunger. Why people are being so hungry, people are facing this hunger issues. With respect to it, approximately it is estimated that more than 6 million people are expected to face hunger, and also in that there are various divides. For example, rural urban divide. Rural people are much exposed to the hunger issues than the urban. Even though the rural people have agriculture, but the availability of the nutrition the urban people have, that is much higher than those of the rural people. And also to the woman, there is a gender bias too, that women suffer more from the hunger issues. So with respect to this, we have the global hunger index, and it has its parameters on which it gives the numbering to the countries. And what are its parameters? For example, child stunning, child wasting, child mortality, and also parameters like undernourishment. So these are the four parameters which are used by the global hunger index. So on this basis, it gives the rankings to the countries which had eradicated the hunger, or which are very much involved in the hunger. So in this context, this is the whole context, this is the whole gist what was in the news article today. And with respect to it, we will solve a previous based question and get more idea about it. Then the another article, it is also about the food access, is about equitable agri food. You know how India changed, how Indian, if we look at the food history of India after independence, how we were very much food dependent, because there were no such revolutions. Then came the rainbow revolutions, which included green revolution, blue, white, yellow, gold, and silver, round, pink, and gray. And because of, by the help of these revolutions and National Food Security Act of 2013 and biofortification, because of all these contributions, it had led to the led India into the position where we are very much food sufficient. So with respect to this article, we will solve a prelims based question on the rainbow revolution with respect to green. What is green revolution related to? What is blue revolution? For example, blue revolution is related to aquaculture and marine production. White revolution, availability of milk. Yellow revolution, oil seeds. Golden, honey and fruits. Silver, eggs, round potatoes. Pink, prawns and shrimps. And similarly, gray is related to fertilizers. So with respect to this, it becomes very much important article for our prelims, and we will solve a prelims based question on that and get more idea about it. Then the another article which was in the news is about the yield can't be the sole indicator for agriculture. It basically talks about the way we are pursuing the agriculture right now, that what we believe in, that if a particular piece of land is able to give us particular amount of crops, then we believe that particular piece of land is good in agriculture. Well, and we at the same time ignore the nutritional values and the quality. We believe in the quantity, we only believe in the quantity of the area, but we ignore the quality in overall. So because of that, we have the food hunger issues in our country. So here the article tries to explain that we should we should keep this we should come out of this yield, that yield being the sole indicator for agriculture. Rather than, we should have a look at the quality, quality of the nutrition, which should be the sole and which should be the indicator for the agriculture. In this, there are few new indicators given by the author here. It should be outcome driven, which means nutrition output should be calculated. Soil biological activity should be calculated. Land diversity and degree of income deprivation should be income diversification should be also calculated with respect to understanding the how good the piece of land is good for the agriculture, how it is important and how it is impacting the people. So with respect to this, we will solve a prelims based question and get the broader idea about it. After that, there is another article. It is about the deeper role. It talks basically about how Israel is so dependent on USA's armed forces. How Israel is itself very much incapable, according to the author, how Israel is incapable to deal with the Arab countries, and how irresponsible is USA, which has because of its Biden administration's approach in this war, it has led to this situation which has arisen right now. If it would have been taken carefully, this thing would have almost ended sooner. But right now, because of the irresponsibility from the Biden administration and incapability from the Israeli administration, this situation has arisen where the Israel is accused of doing the genocide in the Palestine, and right now there are high chances of war between the Israel and Iran. So it basically talks about the role of USA and how Israel is incapable in this situation. After that, there is another article. It talks about the coastal flood harm different trees differently. In this article we are going to discuss a important concept, which is about the dendrochronology. What does it say? That if a plant, how plant reacts to different climates, how different plants react to different waters differently. So with respect to this, we will solve a prelims based question and understand it more properly. After that, we will go to the another topic in which we will discuss about the greenwashing, how the companies frame this greenwashing concept, how they use it, how they promote that they are ecologically friendly, but unfortunately they are doing against the ecosystem. With respect to this, we will discuss and understand this greenwashing concept in more detail with respect to the prelims, which we are going to discuss in prelims based question, which we are going to discuss in the next slides. After discussing these articles, we will shift to our approach towards the static portion, in which we are going to discuss Article 21 and understand it and solve a prelims based question. After that, we will discuss few previous year questions. So this was in nutshell what was in the news. I hope you had got the gist, what was in gist of the news. You had got the basic concept, basic idea what was in the news today. And now with this, let's try to solve the questions and understand the whole discussion more properly and more in a best way possible. With this, let's move to our first question here. Here the first question, it talks about the global hunger index. It is a tool used to measure and track hunger globally. 100% correct. Which of the following statements about the global hunger index are correct? First statement: the global hunger index is calculated based on three key indicators: undernourishment, child wasting, and child stun mortality. 100% correct. In child wasting, it is also added in in the introduction. We discussed about 4, in which we included child wasting and child stunning, but here they had made it a single term where they had used child wasting. So this statement is correct. Statement 2: the GHI is published annually by the United Nations Development Program. No, it is not published by them, but it is published by Concern Worldwide and Wealth Hunger Health. This organization, it is this organization which publishes the global hunger index. After the third statement, a lower GHI score indicates a higher level of hunger in a country. No, a lower GHI score indicates lower level of hunger in a country. So this is also incorrect. So with respect to this question, the correct statement is statement 1 only. So with this, the correct option is option A. So from this article, we had got the basic idea about the global hunger index and also the article which we discussed in the introduction part. With this, let's move to the another question and try to solve that. Here the question is about the rainbow revolutions. Now let's try to understand it in the context of India's agricultural development. The terms blue revolution, white revolution, Yellow Revolution and Golden Revolution refer to specific initiatives aimed at enhancing food production and security. Which of the following statements correctly match these revolutions with their respective focus areas? First, Blue Revolution, increase in the fish production and aquaculture, 100% correct. Second, White Revolution, improvement in milk production and dairy development, 100% correct. Third, Yellow Revolution, increase in oil seed production and particularly mustard, 100% correct. Fourth, Golden Revolution, enhancement of horticulture, especially fruits and flowers, 100% correct. With respect, and in few areas it is honey is also added in it, so this is also correct statement. With respect to this, all the four statements are correct, and from the code given below, the correct code would be option C. So with this, I hope you had got the basic idea about these rainbow revolution, different color codes given to these revolutions. I hope you had got it. This is going to be very much interesting and very much important for your prelims exam. With this, let's move to the another question and try to solve. Here the question is about the yield as the sole indicator. Let's see what the question says. The use of yield as the sole indicator of agricultural success has been criticized for several reasons. 100% correct, as we discussed that. Which of the following statements highlight the potential issues with relying exclusively on yield measurements in agriculture? So what are, let's discuss, let us see them. What are the issues with these? First, yield focused approach may neglect soil health, 100% correct, and biodiversity, leading to a long-term degradation, 100%. Second, high yields often correlate with increased use of chemical fertilizers and pesticides, which can harm the environment and human health, 100% correct. Third, focusing solely on yield may ignore the socio-economic factors affecting farmers, such as market access and fair prices, 100% correct. Fourth, yield as a measure does not account for the nutritional quality of the produce, which is essential for food security, 100% correct. So with respect to this question, all the four statements are correct, and from the code given below, the correct code would be option C. With this, I hope you had understood what is the concept behind using the yield, the amount we generate from the particular acre of land, is as the sole indicator for agricultural success is not that good. So with this, let's move to the another question and try to solve that. Here the question is about the United States role in the Israel-Palestine issue. Let us discuss that. The question says, the role of the United States in the Israel-Palestine conflict has evolved over the decades. We are seeing it right now, influencing diplomatic relations and peace progress. Which of the following statements accurately reflect the role reflect the US role in this conflict? First statement, the US was one of the first countries to recognize Israel as state in 1948, correct? The US has consistently supported a two-state solution as a member to resolve the conflict, 100%. They had continuously supported it. It may seem different, as right now we are seeing that US being the ally of Israel, being the ally of US, but still US has consistently supported a two-state solution. Third, US military aid to Israel has increased significantly since 1970s, making it one of the largest recipients of US foreign aid, 100% correct. Fourth, the US has often acted as a mediator in peace talks between Israel and Palestine, 100% correct. So with respect to this question, all the four statements are correct, and from the code given below, the correct code would be option C. With this, let's move to the another question and try to understand that. Here the question is about the dendrochronology. Let's discuss what is this about. It says it is a scientific method used for dating and analyzing past climate conditions, correct? Which of the following statements about dendrochronology are correct? First statement, dendrochronology relies on the study of tree rings to determine the age of trees and historical climate data, 100% correct. It can be used to date wooden artifacts and archaeological sites, providing insights into past human activities, correct. The method is limited to coniferous trees and cannot be applied to deciduous trees species, to totally incorrect. It is applied to both types. Fourth, dendrochronology has application in understanding ecological change and forest management practices, correct. So with respect to this question, all the for 1, 2 and 4th option is correct. So with respect to, and the correct answer goes to, correct option is option B. Statement 1, statement 2 and statement 4 are correct with respect to this question. So by solving this question, you had got, I hope you had got the basic idea about dendrochronology, how it can help us in estimating the lifetime of the lifetime of the tree, how, what were the climatic conditions, then how it has evolved. So it is very important branch to understand the evolution too. So with this, let's move to another question and get more idea about. Here the question is about the greenwashing. As we discussed it, it refers to the practice of companies misleading consumers regarding the environmental practices of their products or services. Which of the following statements about greenwashing are correct? Statement 1. Greenwashing can involve false claims about a product's environmental benefits or misleading environmental imagery. Correct. It can lead to this. That is why it is often in the news. Second, it is regulated under international law, making companies legally accountable for misleading environmental claims. No, it is not regulated under international laws. So this statement is incorrect. Statement 3. Greenwashing can undermine genuine efforts towards sustainability by creating consumer skepticism about environmental friendly products. Correct. Fourth, companies engaging in greenwashing may face reputational damage but are often not penalized financially. Yes, this is also true. They may face reputational damage, but they are not penalized often. So with respect to this question, the correct statements are statement 1, statement 3 and statement 4. And from the code given below, the correct code would be option B. With this, I hope you had understood the concepts related to the what were in the news today. I hope you had understood the current affairs topics. Now with this, let's move to the another part of our discussion, which is solving the previous year solving the static part question. Today's static part question is Article 21. Let us see what does the question say. Article 21 of the Indian Constitution guarantees the right to life and personal liberty. 100% correct. It says, which of the following statements accurately reflect the scope and interpretation of Article 21? First statement. Article 21 states that no person shall be deprived of his life or personal liberty except according to the procedure established by law. 100% correct. Statement 2. The Supreme Court of India has interpreted Article 21 to include the right to privacy, right to clean environment and right to health. 100% correct. Statement 3. Article 21 applies only to citizens of India and does not extend to non-citizens residing in India. No, it is totally incorrect. It applies to both citizens as well as non-citizens too. So now coming to the fourth part, last statement, the right to life under Article 21 is absolute and cannot be restricted by any law. It is totally incorrect. If it was the case, then the death penalties would have not been in our country. It is not absolute, right? Article 21, it can be restricted by any law. So with respect to this question, the correct statements are option 1 and 2 only, and from the code given below, the correct code would be option A. With this, let's move to the last part of our discussion by solving the previous year questions. Here the first question, it says, who suggested the reconstitution of the Viceroy Executive Council in which all portfolios, including that of war members, were to be held by the Indian leaders? Who suggested it? It was the Shimla Conference, Wavell Plan we also call it. So here the correct statement for this question is option B. With this, moving to the last question of today's discussion, it says, who gave a systematic critique of the moderate politics of the Indian National Congress in a series of articles entitled New Lamps for India? Who was that? It was Aurobindo Ghosh. He gave a systematic, he was a systematic critique of the modern politics of the Indian National Congress, and he mentioned it in a series of articles entitled as New Lamps for India. It is Aurobindo Ghosh. So with this, by solving these questions, I hope you had got the good idea about today's video, what we discussed in it. I hope you would like the video, you would share it with your friends, and definitely subscribe the channel. Thank you for staying with me. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.